Hello everyone, this is Maria from mariascraftingcorner.com. Welcome to my channel. Today we're going to work with our first project for September Paper Pumpkin Kit. I am in love with this kit. What else is new, right? This kit is awesome because they are little treat boxes. I have one set up here so you guys can see it here in a minute, and you can decorate them. So perfect for Halloween to just give a couple of treats to your kids or to your family or friends. I really think it's very clever from Stampin'Up to just create stuff like this that could really enrich our lives, right? Cards are awesome and whatnot, but these little how would you call it? These little projects are just wonderful. I really think they're just wonderful. And if you don't know what Paper Pumpkin Kit is, it is a monthly subscription by Stampin'Up where you pay $23.50 in the United States, and that includes free shipping. And in that box that you will get everything you need in order to create the projects they designed for you. And when I say everything, I really mean everything. That will include, in this case, like the different little boxes, the decorations. If it's cards, then the card bases, and the whatever decorations, cutouts. It could be, how do you call this? Some gems, some bling bling. It kind of varies, but it will bring everything, including the glue or glue dots. Not glue. Usually it is tear and tape or glue dots. Most of the time, that's what I've seen. Every so often, it also includes dimensionals. Again, depending on what they have designed. So this month it brings 18 treat boxes and all the decorations to work with it. What that means is that it's going to be a little bit trickier to create different cards because it does not bring card bases. So really we're going to use a black card base and most likely white card bases, okay? And if you don't know, I try very, very hard to use only what's in the kit. The only things I allow myself to bring are either black or white card bases or both, and my stuff, right? When I say my stuff, my tools. So my trimmer, my take your pick, my own adhesives, which will vary depending on the project. Really, most of the adhesives I use is usually the Stampin' Seal Plus, which is pretty similar to the tear and tape. I just use that one instead of tear and tape because you have to take the backing of the tear and tape, and so it takes a little bit of time. The Stampin' Seal Plus is you just roll it, so it's pretty easy. I use a lot of glue that's not included in the kit, but if you are a crafter, you most likely have some glue. I am sure hoping. And I would bring my stamping blocks. Stampin'Up brings, so the kit, your first kit, okay, I always mix this up. Your first kit will bring a acrylic block that you will be using and reusing. I will use the ones I already have from Stampin'Up because they are a little thicker, so much better for your hands. I'm thinking what else? If I need scissors, I'll have that. I think that's pretty much it of the stuff that I use that I bring. Let's go to the crafting table real quick and we can get started. Okay, so you guys know that I tried to do the quote-unquote unboxing. You probably have seen this already. I have already opened it because I really struggle with opening. It comes in a little bag, and yeah, for some reason that's complicated. So real quick, I want to show you guys, this is our next kit. You have to order by October 10th, the latest. Beautiful cards. It looks like it has some sort of Santa. I was reading a little bit about it. We never know what it brings, but if it's any anything similar to our last few kits, it's just it's going to be just amazing, right? Really worth it to subscribe. Don't hesitate, go down below and follow that link and subscribe. Every paper pumpkin kit brings instructions, and I'm having here and I'm showing you how beautiful the box treats are. So we have 6 designs of, let's see, 3 different designs, 6 boxes of each. Really cute. You cannot say that they're not cute. These will color combination with crushed curry, fresh freesia, gray granite, orchid oasis, and pumpkin pie. Really beautiful options. And I just want to show you real quick that all our paper pumpkin kits bring instructions. They are pretty self-explanatory. They are very well written, not written, they're very well represented, and it's really easy for you to follow. Okay, so those 2 important pieces. It comes with some black papers to make it like buoy. Okay, so every stamping kit brings these little stamping spot. In this case, it brings Orchid Oasis. I am going to bring my own pad, big pad, and I will save this. I keep telling people I save them because I use them for other occasions, right? I'm not going to use it not right here when I actually have my open pad. It would not make sense, right? It brings, like I was telling you, these are mini dimensional, so these are 2 small ones. These I always save. I will use them, but I just save them. I kind of compiled them. This is the, let me bring my silicone craft sheet, which is really dirty. This is, let's see, that's better. This is the stamp set. Whoops, it fell. This is the stamp set that that comes with the kit. The stamp sets in each kit, they are all exclusive to the kit, so you won't find them anywhere else in Stampin'Up. It is a great, I would say, a great and kind of cheaper way if you want to increase your stamp collection and to increase your ink color collection, because you'll receive 1 ink spot, and most of the time they're different colors on on each paper pumpkin kit. This one brings a few bats, some spider web, some little stars. It says, of course, happy Halloween, trick or treat, enjoy this spooky treat. It brings a little spider and, of course, a big ghost. So let me put that one, move that. This one, these are the glue dots. And I also save them. I don't use them usually, but I have them there. If I want to use glue dots, I have them there. This kit brings some tear and tape here, which you read my mind. Yes, I'm going to save it. And it brings this black back stars. So they have some adhesive in the black, and you can use to decorate. I love these. These are awesome. And it has its own little bag, which of course we will save at some point. I'm going to put them there so I don't lose them. Let me show you the cutouts. So it brings these to put sentiments, spider webs. I have a few already out. These are also part of the cutouts, probably to decorate or to include sentiments. I love this one, it's so cool. And again, they are specifically designed for each of the boxes. It brings 3. Is it 3? Yes, 3 box wrappers. That's how I'm gonna call them, and I'll show you here how they work. This one in plaid, this one in just fresh freesia, and this one that has that web design there. And then it brings 3 colors of card bases, box bases in this case, white, black, and orange, as you can tell. So, oh, one last thing. It does bring the, I'll show you, whoops. So it brings the ghosts and these spiders. Okay, let's get this a little bit organized. Let me move all that away. So very important, if you like boxes or giving treats or whatever, the first thing I did was to create a template from these, because I am thinking I am going to use them all. But you can just save one of them and that'll be fine, right? One of these and one of these, so you have that way these for the future, right? Whenever you need a little box for treats, then you have it. Now if you don't want to do all Halloween, this will match perfectly with Christmas, same as the black and even the orange. If you get creative there with the colors, I think you'll be able to use them. I had made already one of the boxes. This is how the box will look like, and that's why I call them like box covers, I don't know. And then you would decorate them. Very, very useful, very cute, I'm going to say. Like I was saying, because of the nature of the kit, we're going to have to be a little bit more creative because we don't have a whole lot of paper to create, the cards we're going to be making. So I did bring, let me see, we're going to be making a center step. As you can tell, this is my cheat sheet. I'm going to put it there. And we are going to be we're going to need a piece of cardstock. We are probably going to use some white for extra contrast. And let's start working. So this piece, I already cut it. Let me move this back here. And this is 7 by 10, okay? And my trimmer is around here. We have our trimmer here backwards because that works. And like I said, this is 7 by 10. Just as always, all measurements will be linked down below so you guys can recreate this card. I made a similar card a while ago, and I'm going to link it up here for you guys if you're interested in check them out. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to get our 7 size. Is it too close? Let me move this a tiny bit here so you can see better. And I know it's in black, and that means you're really not going to see, so you're going to have to take my word for it. Even I'm going to have a hard time seeing. Okay, so we take this 7-inch side and align in the trimmer, and we're going to align at, and like I said, I have my cheat sheet here for me. So we are going to align at 2 1/4, and we are going to score between 1. So it's super hard to see, but here's the 1 to 8.5, and I'm going to just put my finger here just to guide me. So we're going to do that long score. Oops, that went a little bit off, and again, it's hard to see another score. Okay, and now we're going to move to 4 3/4, and we're going to do the exact same thing. So align at 1 and go to 1 1/2. I'm sorry. Align at 1 and move to 8 1/2. I don't know why I am confusing today. So let me repeat this process just because I was a little bit distracted. You initially align at 2 1/4 and score between 1 and 8 1/2. And then you move to 4 3/4 right there and do the exact same, score between 1 and 8 1/2. Okay, I am just going to make sure that this is okay, and I'm going to tell you guys why, because I can really see well what I am doing. So this is more there. Okay, looks like we're okay. Hopefully it is well aligned. When we're cutting, because we'll cut those in a little bit, we'll be able to make sure that those are in the right place. Now we are going to get the 10-inch side. We are going to align at 1, and here's 1. Okay, and we are going to score, and we are going to score between those score lines. There's 1. And we're going to move to 2 and do the same thing. score between the score lines. This is a very simple one to do. We are going to move to 3.5. And don't forget, I have all those measurements for you, so you don't have to worry about it. And then we're going to go to 5. Now, at these 5, we are going to score all the way, okay? And then we're going to move to 7.5, and I'm going to open the arm of our trimmer. One of the reasons why I love it is it extends so much. It's wonderful. So we're going to move to 7.5. And we're going to score between those score lines again. And finally, we're going to move to 8.5, and we're going to score between the score lines. Now, I don't know if you can tell. Okay, but I went a little bit over here. But that's okay, because this all will be covered, so it'll be fine. But I just want to let you know that it happens. Now, we're going to go back a line on the smaller side, and we're going to go to the 2.25 again, align well there. We're going to use our view here in the trimmer, another of the really great things about this trimmer, and we're going to cut. And we're going to cut between 1 and 8.5. Okay, now I'm cutting slowly because again I can barely see because it's black. It's just super complicated. And now we're going to move again to 4 3/4, which is right there, and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to make sure it is the line, right, the score line. We can see the score line, and we're going to cut between 1 and 8.5. And I'm doing this slowly again because I can't see, and I always say you can cut a little more if needed, but you can't, once you cut too far, you can't just like mend it, right? So this is our card. I'm going to put our trimmer in there, and now we're going to fold this, and this is going to go. So the first thing I'm going to do is fold the middle. It just helps me, right? That will be my first tip to you, is fold the middle because it helps. This one goes mountain. See, once you fold the middle, it like helps with the rest of the folding. The next one goes valley. The third one goes mountain, valley, and this one goes mountain. So there is the basic card. Now let's bring our bone folder to really burnish those score lines. It is super important to really burnish those. If you don't have a bone folder, you can use your scissors closed like that. It's not as easy, but you can use them to help you just get those folds really in a good place. Okay, that is our basic card, and it stands and it's super pretty. I absolutely love it. I am going through those lines again, the score lines, just making sure that it will stand correctly. Okay, now let's go with the cutting. You guys know that always my first video for the my first alternative for the paper pumpkin kit is always a little longer, just because I like to show you everything that it comes, and I don't cut things ahead of time, so that slows us a tiny bit. We are going to create panels for these, okay, and those we're going to have 2 panels. These are 2 the same, and we are going to have those panels are going to be 2 1/8 by 4 7/8. So I'm going to go to 4 7/8, then I'm going to cut that, and now I'm going to cut 2 1/8. And I don't know if you can tell. Let me move a little bit further here. I always, let me move here a tiny bit up. I always mark my trimmer. I feel that helps me guide myself, and you know, just, yeah, it's super useful for me. So I'm going to cut the first one, and then I'm going to cut another one, right? Because it is, in the end, we have 2 2 1/8. There we go. Now what we're going to do, we're going to use these, and I know these are already pre-scored, but we're going to do the most we can with them as they are. This has a flap in here, right? So I'm going to remove that flap because I am not going to be able to use it very much, I don't think, but I don't want it to get me confused. So I'm going to remove that one. And we are going to create something to put this on top of this panel. So it's going to be like this, okay? And this panel is going to measure 2. And yes, we are going to lose a little bit of it. So I'm going to go to 2, and it's 2 by 4 3/4. So I can see very well, more or less here where 4 3/4 is. So I'm going to go all the way to there, to 4 3/4, just so I waste the least amount of paper. And I'm going to cut these. We are going to align at 4 3/4, which is right there, and we're going to cut. And that way we are being very mindful of not wasting these. And I'm going to bring another one and do the exact same thing. We're going to go, and I'm going to do it. Here's 2. So you can see it's much clearer, right? And I know that glare does not help, but, and then it goes to 4 3/4 right there. And then I align back in here at 4 3/4 and cut. So now we have the 2 panels, oops, there, 4, let me see, there you go. So you have the 2 outside panels, and we're going to create the panels for these steps. Now, I do like to create those steps and cover all of them, okay? Now, because this is, it's a little bit different of a kit. I don't want to necessarily waste what we have here, so I may not decorate the backs. Same as this back, I will not decorate it. Usually I do, but I may not because of that. And so we are going to start creating these 3 steps. And I am going to go back to the white because yes, we're going to create some, oops, look at that. We're going to create some extra layering. The first one is, let me say this just before. If you want to decorate the back, like if you're not doing these specifically, but just a step card, center step card, then you need 2 pieces and 2 pieces, or, 4 pieces in total for this and this panel because they measure the same, and 2 pieces for this one and this one because they measure the same, okay? So I want to leave them with white. I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to leave them black. Sorry, I'm still debating about that. And it is 2 3/8. So let's see, 2 3/8 would be around here. I decided I'm going to go and cut first the other measurement, which is 7/8, because I have the feeling we may get here almost all of it or part of it. So 2 3/8, 2 1/4, 2 3/8 will be that one. So we have one spot, and 2 3/8. Oh, I said I was going to make just one, right? But this one would have measured well too. That's nice. Okay, just in case I decide. Okay, so we have 2 little pieces, and that one, the front, I am going to decorate with the purple or the fresh freesia. And I want to start trying to using these spots because they are already cut, and they are cut at the 1 inch. And this one is a little bit bigger. So we're going to need 2 1/4. Yes, 2 1/4. I got confused there. So I'm going to first of all, I'm going to straight this. See where that leaves us, right? And we said 2 1/4. So 2 1/4 is about there. And we're going to cut that real quick. And now we are going to cut on this other side. This needs to measure 3/4. Now when you have a piece like this, oops, let me move a tiny bit here. What I say is put it there as best as you can, align straight, hold these trimmer holes very well, and you have to cut from underneath or from below, from the bottom edge. That's the right word, from the bottom edge. Why? Because when you cut, it will push the paper against this ledge here, and so the paper won't move. And then you'll have a very nice straight cut right away. And this is fighting with me. The next piece we're going to cut is the second step. And that second step is we need to cut this at 1 3/8. So I'm going to cut this 1 3/8. It's in here. Okay. 1 3/8 by 2 3/8. So the same 2 3/8. We already went that one. There we go. That is our first. And I'm just going to bring this here to make sure this measurement is okay. Oh, it is okay. It just seemed a little off, but it is okay. So if you can see, these is already scored, like I said. So I'm going to cut this bigger piece. Well, I'm not going to cut it all. I'm going to use this bigger piece to cut. Guess what I'm trying to say. And we are going to cut at 2 1/4, which is right there. 2 1/4 by 1 1/4. It just seems like I want to make sure what I'm doing is right. Okay, seems like it is. So 1 1/4. Sometimes I know I work these measurements, I know I've done it, and sometimes I still second guess. So we still have a tiny piece here that we can reuse later. And this is going to go, oh my gosh, in here. Now the next piece, we can do this 2 different ways. We can create just a panel, a bigger panel here, and decorate it, which I think would be a lot of fun, or we cannot. I'm kind of debating about it. I think I am not sure, obviously. No, I'm not going to create a piano, so I'm just going to create a layer for this. And that layer is it will be 2 3/4 by 2 3/4, I believe, because that's. So let's start by cutting to 2 3/4 and see if I am right. 2 3/4 by 2 3/4, I said. So let's go back there and wish me luck. Let's see if that was the only measurement that I was a little bit confused. 2 3/4. I was like, what? It's 2 3/8. Sometimes I see the 3's and get confused. So 3/8. Sorry about that. And 2 3/8. Okay. That seems much better. And that's going to go there. Okay. And then we're going to layer that one. And of course, I'm going to try to see if this fits. And it doesn't fit, but here's the thing. Think about this, right? This is going to go here. When you go there, you're going to barely see that there's something. Maybe we can put something there just to disguise it. So I'm going to reuse this piece even if it's not going to work well. So let's start putting this card together. Let's add our layers here. And like I said, I have my Stampin' Seal Plus just because it's a super easy and fast way to use here in the videos. Whatever you have, the kit brings the tear and tape, which is super useful too. And we're just layering these the best we can. We have one panel, and we're going to adhere them all to the respective layer places, and then we'll put them in place in the card or on the card. Okay, second one. Okay, we have two. Now let's bring the other smaller pieces. Jeez. This is definitely a smaller piece, and we are just going to layer here. Making sure it's centered. Do remember, we are not perfect. It should not be completely perfect. Most of the time I get it right. There's times that I'm like, really, Maria, is this your first time in the craft? Because sometimes it just doesn't. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to move a little bit the border down, so it covers a little bit more there, but we are going to use something for later there. We'll see. The kit brings tons of options to work in here, so I think it's going to be fine. Okay, let's start putting these together. My advice to you is open the card and put this in place, but with the card open. If it's closed, it's much harder to do. So let me move this in here, and again, just see this side, and this side. It will most likely work well if you do that. Pay attention to those edges. That helps tremendously when you are aligning cardstock or layers within the card. So, go back again. You're more or less getting there. Now let's start with the smaller one. And the next one. And again, I am not going to decorate these just because I don't want to waste, not waste, I don't want to use a lot of the designer series paper. Did you see that? It went all the way nicely, and thankfully the Stampin' Seal Plus is super flexible when it comes to that. And now we're going to put this one in here, and again, we're just centering as best as we can. So I am going to bring some of those cutouts to help us decorate this card. The first thing I'm thinking, and that's why I wanted this, is because I think I want this ghost up here, maybe like that. Just having some fun like that. And to do that, we're going to use some of the scraps that we have to hold this ghost. So we're going to, and actually I probably should have done that before. So we are going to bring our Stampin' Seal Plus. We're going to open a tiny bit. We're going to glue this ghost in here. Right? If you have, I'm going to bring my glue if I find it. If you have some acetate at home, I tend to have, I'm going to call it the elegant clean acetate. What I mean by that is the one that I actually buy. And I always collect the leftover acetates from the stamps. And you can't tell because you can see the stamp sets there. Can you see them? And maybe not. Oh, now there you can see it. And use it. It would be awesome to use a little piece of these instead of the white cardstock, so you can see through. That will give us the idea that the ghost is flying. But since I promised to use only what's in the kit, I'm going to use only what's in the kit. And so we're going to put this glue. We're going to glue this and glue our friend, making sure that the edges of the white piece do not show on the top. It's going to show on the back a tiny bit. I'm going to use my scissors and cut a tiny bit there. Okay, and so, okay, maybe a little bit more. That way, there it goes. That way, it's a little more discreet, I guess. And I'm going to do the same thing on this side. That way this is really supporting the, whoops, completely off camera, sorry about that. This is really supporting the ghost, but this is a little shorter. Nobody's going to see that. Now, this is going to go in, and it's going to go in almost all the way. You see? So we're barely going to see that white. If it did not have the white, I will use it. I would put the ghost even a little higher, right? But we do have that white, and so I'm just going to put a little bit of glue in there that we are going to, I'm going to use my take your pick here to help me keep that up. And now, nope, I'm going to keep it there because obviously it needs the help. And now it goes in there. It goes all the way in. And we have our flying ghost there. And that's how he's going to look. I'm going to turn it a tiny bit like that because he's a happy ghost. Now, we have a variety of other things that we can use. And I am just going to bring some of them out here. Okay, I don't want to use these spider because I feel that, let's see, now we're going to build. If we put it here, like she's supposed to be dangling, but then you can barely see it because that is a BC paper. So my thought is we are going to bring, and you shouldn't do this because I should have thought about this beforehand, but you guys know very well that that happens to me often enough. I am going to bring, I'm going to peel that off, and I am going to bring these bats. And let me see. Let me bring a piece of white cardstock. As you can tell, I have all sorts of pieces in here, and I am just going to, if you have black, of course this is probably better in black. Since I'm using them for the first time, just making sure they're going to work. And I'm going to just put some of them around here. So, okay, and what I'm going to do to fix that is I'm going to use a little bit of brush and some of that ink and putting it there to complete that image that I did not do well. And I did not do well because I should not have done it after the fact, but I was not really thinking about the decoration, and so I'm just going all over this little bat here to get it all filled in. So my lack of, how you call it, my lack of skills when stamping did not affect it. I'm going to put another one here. And I'm trying to make sure I do a better job, which I did. I'm very excited about that. And so we have a few bats in there. The kit also brings a little spider. And I'm going to bring one of the small blocks, and we're going to get that spider. Again, if you have black ink, that probably would look not better, but you know, more appropriate, I guess, if you want. I'm going to use the spider here, and I'm going to put her here, and I'm going to extend this actually to help myself. Then I'm going to put one, and I make like a little bit of paper, 2 and 3. Kind of, that's our designer series paper, our spidery designer series paper. Whoops. This is not closing well. Okay, there we go. Man, I was starting to get scared there. The other thing I'm going to do, I'm going to make a little panel there. So this is going to be a little shorter panel. I'm aligning that. This panel is going to be, and we're going to make it together. Let me move that because that's disaster waiting to happen. I'm gonna do it this way. I don't know what that is. Let me bring a cleaner piece of paper. There you go, a little leftover. So those panels are 2. I think I want these to be 1 3/4, and I'm just going to go ahead and cut it all by, I think 3 will do, or 3.5 will do. And these you can do as however you want it. I just want something here where I can put my sentiment, like there. Or do we want another panel? Let me see. If I centered this here, I think I want it like that, centered. Okay, so I'm going to put some designer series paper, and I shouldn't, I mean, oh my God, Maria, can't even speak English today. I'm actually not going to. I'm going to stamp this first. So we have, if I make a mistake, then I can just undo it, not like I did before. Same as always, if you, I mean, having the grit paper is so useful because you can make sure that there's no leftover of the chemical that it is in the polymer stamp. And I am going to put it up here. And let me see. I think I want to put this one like that. Let's see how this works. Stuck. Okay, I'm going to remove these, thankfully. And we're going to center this as best as we can. So I'm trying to make sure that there's more or less the same distance between, let me move this a bit, between these 2 panels, right? I know this is going to be tighter, but at least these two panels, so they're more or less on the left. I mean, on the same distance. If you have doubts as to where they are, the best, a long time ago, I heard somebody saying that the best option is to always put a little bit higher, and that kind of distracts the sight, and you will not focus on that. So I'm going to put this one here. Like so. It needs to go inside, otherwise it will may affect that. So I'm just making sure it's inside. And I am liking this very, very much. You know what it needs? The kit needs a boo. Or something like that. That's what I'm thinking of. It needs a boo. So I think I'm going to go with the bats again. And I'm going to get them inked, making sure they're okay. And I'm going to put them up here. Wish me luck, peeps. Okay, that looks good. I think that's good. So we have all those there. What's our next step? I'm going to bring one of these, and I'm going to put it in here, maybe on the top, nope, there. And I'm going to put the little spider we had, like so. And I'm going to bring some of the dimensionals. I have big dimensionals, but you can use whatever you want, right? Actually, let me rephrase. I'm going to glue this as is. So more to the middle. And I'm going to put the dimensionals on the spider, making sure I don't see them. It only fits one dimensional. And let me bring one of the smaller dimensionals. We'll most likely be able to get one there. There you go. And I'm just going to put the spider like that. And there you have it. I think this is such a cute option. We have our flying ghost. I think that if I could, and I'm still thinking of doing it, but you know, like creating, how is it called, a language, like a language bubble, no, thought bubble, however they're called, I don't know. Something along those lines. I am awful at cutting and put it in here, same boo, but like I said, I'm not very good at cutting. And so this does not look super good. But if you're good at it, it'll be fun. Can you just plug it to, I mean, not plug it, but you just put some glue there, and you can put the, maybe the Halloween, Happy Halloween in there. It's kind of big, but you can try to do, let's see. You can try to mask this, and I'm glad I have one of these around here. That one wouldn't work. Let me see. And if you guys don't have these, I would recommend you get some post-it notes or something to help you with masking. It's super, super, super useful. And so you can kind of, whoops, not like that. So what we're trying to do is just get the happy, and we'll stamp the happy first, and then we'll go ahead with the Halloween and stamp it below, or whatever you want it, really, for that matter, right? And we'll take this out. I don't know if you can see this, it's been really acting up. Well, maybe it's me. And I'm just going to center as best as I can and go for it. That doesn't really matter in this case. I shouldn't have taken it, because technically we're going to create that bubbly, right? So I'm going to move that away, and if it works, it works. If you have better skills than I do, by all means go ahead and get them, right? Go ahead and cut them. I'm just like not really good at cutting. I always joke that I went to kindergarten and they just did not work with me on cutting, right? But again, it's a skill, so if you have a good one, then go ahead and have fun with it. And I think that's much better. And we are going to put it in here. And that will be super fun. So I'm just going to go ahead and use some glue and put it on top of there, like so. Whoops. And that's why I'm looking in here. Okay, so we need to move this a tiny, tiny bit like that. Maybe move it more. Oh, let's see. I think I want it like that. And there you go. That's much fun. And so that is our card for today. So I forgot that I put myself back in there and you did not see what I was doing. So I cut it. And I'm going to show you now what I did. So I cut a little piece of these, the leftover I had, and just glue a tiny piece in here to correct that empty white thing we had. And now it just creates some interest if you see it from up here. But the reality is, you know, if you see it from the front, as I'm trying to see, you will not be able to see that, right? And that's what you will get more or less if you see it from the front. Let me show you up close. So things that I would do, I would put some Stella Wink around, maybe this, maybe that, maybe the bats, just to make them, you know, much funner. And I just think that it's a possibility. If you have some Stella, Wink of Stella, Wink of Stella, that will work. And this is our card. There you go. I hope, guys, you really enjoy it. Now, finally, let me go back to me. I'm sorry about that. I hope you enjoyed the video. I will link everything down below so you guys can have access to the measurements and have some fun creating different projects than the ones that the Paper Pumpkin Kit. So if you would like a catalog, please send me an email to maria@mariascraftingcorner.com. I will gladly send them to you for free, and I said send them because we have two at this point in time. We have the annual catalog, and we do have our holiday catalog, which is beautiful, beautiful. And if you have any questions about Stampin' Up, or you have questions about making an order or whatever, please don't hesitate to send me an email or contact me. You can go to my website, which is mariascraftingcorner.com, and you can check on my rewards to get some free product, and there are points to get more free product, and check out that hostess code. And you can also go and subscribe to my newsletter. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. It helps us a lot here on YouTube. You probably know this, you hear from everybody, so I would appreciate if you give it a thumbs up. And if you like the general content of my channel, just subscribe to it and hit that notification bell so you are aware of when I am uploading videos or I'm going live. I usually go live on Tuesdays at 6 p.m. in Mountain Time, and the paper pumpkin kit alternative goes on Thursdays. I tried to make it around 12 Mountain Time or 2 Mountain Times, but sometimes I've done it sooner, so I don't want to say this time. That's why you need to hit that notification bell so you know every single time. I appreciate you being here with me, and I will talk to you next time. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye.